Hello, hello. I still have my kid camera. Question: why do the corporations have such a grip on the public's mind? Why do you think that is? Make a video about it and post the link under this video. I want people to start making video responses again. This had tapered off, and I talked about this in my last video. It tapered off because the corporate agenda doesn't want people to do video exchanges, because too many people started to think, and that is not in their interest, because they want to sell you things. And if you're starting to think, then you question the very things that they're trying to sell you. So, but why do they have such a grip on us, on the majority of people? And I don't exclude myself. I have been right in the middle of this as well, and I have body image issues as well. I'm not above this, and I dream of looking like that Babette from Daily Motion, the third art animation. That would be my avatar. I think that woman is that's just the ultimate. Nobody looks like this. You can't even make someone look like this through plastic surgery. I think that's just, it's impossible. It's too much of a cartoonish figure. It's just, we don't even have the bone structure to begin with to create something like this. But maybe people will look like this in the future, like those Pleiadians, and totally hairless, only hair on the head, and a little bit eyebrow hair, and no other hair, and totally like Beyonce, but even bigger, even wider hips, even bigger butt, and gigantic breasts, and this amazingly innocent face. Nobody who thinks, does a lot of thinking, can ever have such an innocent facial expression. It is impossible, no matter how much estrogen and gestagen we have running through our systems. The face will never look like this. Yeah.
I don't want to be.
Yeah.
Please turn it off.
Why do I need to turn it off? Why is my dog so agitated? Because we're not exercising him enough. It's as simple as that. And he should, even though we have a very big garden, he could be running around in it, but he doesn't. Because he waits for us to go with him. Dogs, they don't just go out in a garden. It doesn't matter how many acres you have. They're not going to go out there and galloping around like a horse. Even a horse doesn't want to do that by himself. They want company. Okay, so, but my friend Joanna, she has a large garden, and she has had 2 Dalmatians. One of them died, and they did not want to go out into the garden by themselves either. They waited for her to come along, and she wasn't exercising them enough either. So I recommend to all people, whether you have a large garden or a small garden or no garden, you have to go out there with your dog every single day and exercise them and walk with them, even if it's in the city on cement. They need exercise. They need to walk. They should walk every day at least a mile, if not 2 miles. And we're not doing this enough. We don't go out enough and go hiking. We have wonderful hiking trails here, and we go on those hiking trails every time we are going places, but we're not doing it enough. And then they get bored and they start barking a lot, and they want attention, they want action, they actually make up a game, kind of like people. They play video games. Dogs, they play this game Spook. Spook is anything can spook them. A bird on the porch, or someone they see from the far, or a flickering headlight from a car or something. Anything or any kind of sound can set them off, and then they get all excited, because that's their only excitement they get, you know. So they need to do this. It's very important, and people sometimes they get mad at their dogs. They should understand what the needs of the dogs are. The dogs need exercise desperately. It is desperately needed. You know, don't suppress your dogs from barking or from running or something, you know, or even shredding things up. Don't get mad at your dogs, you know. If they shred up your underwear, you know, don't get mad at them, because they need action. Okay, they need every day. They have to. Those are active animals. They have to have action, and also depends on the dog breed. The Great Danes, they need a lot of walking. Yeah, I see a lot of people, they want a Great Dane when they see Kenny, but I tell them they really need a lot of attention, love. They have to have all their needs met, and they need excitement and action, and you need to play with them, and you need to run around with them. I do this in the house or in the garden, but even that is not enough. It would be ideal to walk with them for at least a mile or two, or Great Danes, they can hike up to 10 miles, but you have to, also like people, you know, when they're not used to it, it's hard on them, so you have to build that up gradually, like increase every week by a mile. So first week 1 mile every day, then 2 miles, then 3 miles, something like this. But I wouldn't go further than 10 miles, a round loop hike. So altogether 10-mile round loop hike. We have done this in the redwood forest. Kenny and I, we could barely reach the car. We were so exhausted. We had to rest in between. We had to sit down and rest because we were not in shape. So, but you have to, for that you have to gradually build this up. So back to the subject. Why does the corporation have such a grip on us, on the humanity in general, in everywhere in the world, but particularly seems to be the case here in the United States? Seems to be extra intense, the amount of control that they have over the population. And I know, because I talk to people every day. I do my psychological long-term studies with people, and my own statistical evaluations, rough evaluations in my head. I don't write anything down. Way too lazy for this. But I see clearly, I see the trends. And by trend, I mean statistical trend. I see where things are going to. I see the causalities. I see why people act the way they act. I see what caused this. And all of this. And sometimes I get very upset. Not so much at the corporations, actually, because they're just like a prey bird. They just pick up their prey, you know. I'm mad at the public for letting them do this to themselves, and then because of that, we're having to deal with people who shoot abortion doctors and who shoot climate scientists and who kill gay people and all of this. All of this because the corporations have such a grip on people. So no other country seems like has that has these intense hate crimes that rage up, or racist based hate crimes from either or any ethnicity. So we have an ethnic war. That I see this on the internet. It makes me very sad when I see that. And all of these things that it just gets so intensified. But particularly the religion-based hate crimes and hateful behaviors and the war and all of this. That is really, that's intensified because of the grip that the corporations have on the public. The more they can create a like a dispersion among the public, the more they can create people to flock away from one another, to create rifts between themselves, and to create like a front, even like a war front, between Republicans and Democrats, for example, or the supporters of the Republican agenda and Hillary Clinton. Why is this that it's become so intense? Okay, with extreme capitalism, the corporations have an incredible leverage over the media, and with enough knowledge about social psychology, the market psychologists really know how to be able to manipulate people, what kind of wordings to use, how to approach people. People need to become more aware of this so that they don't fall into those traps. They know exactly how to word it. They will start a sentence with, or they will ask questions giving already a preconceived idea. That's how they get things into people's heads. Like when somebody asks a question and says, why do you think women with blonde hair are more attractive? Okay, so in this question is already an assumption. And this assumption is women with blonde hair are more attractive. Okay, even though it seems to be the case with most people, but I think this has been put into people's heads. These kind of things can be put into people's heads through a wording like this, and that's just one simple example, probably not even a very good example, but this is how they get all kinds of things into people's heads, all kinds of ideas. It's like, is this, or euthanasia, for example. That's a real good one. I'm going to post the link of my Richard Berman article under this video. Euthanasia. Why are so many people afraid of this? Because of the religion, of course, and then the corporate agenda. The corporate agenda, they can't make money on dead people. At least not permanently, not for a long term. Maybe one time by selling you this incredible, elaborate, anti-environmental, polluting ceremonial for a dead person that isn't doing anybody any good except for people's religious neurotic beliefs. So, but they want people to be alive. They want people to buy breast implants and butt implants, nose surgeries. They want people to bleach their hair. They want people to buy that shit that is totally polluting the environment. And ammonia is in it, and bleach, like, I don't know if it's chlorine or if it's hydrogen peroxide, probably some combination of it. And maybe put a little drop of chamomile in it, and then they say, oh, it's all natural. Yeah, right. So all of this is like, the more polluting, the more consumerism, the more money they seem to be trying to scrape out of people, and they don't care if this is not sustainable for any one of us. They don't care. They want their short-term money gain, and that is all they're interested in. They're not interested in even the quality of their own lives, the air they breathe, you know. If they go to Alaska and they still see some abundant nature, they think that will be there forever if they continue to plunder and reap the environment like this. No, it will not. Okay? You will have to move to another planet and terraform Mars, you know. I think all of these people that exploit the environment here on Earth, they should go to Mars. Those are the ones that should be deported to Mars, and they can set up what they really should do is they should terraform Mars, and they should put all their hard labor into it and work, and then see for the first time what it really means, life, you know. Then appreciate it when the first sprouts come out of the ground, and when biomass is transformed by worms into fertile earth soil, and life grows out of it. Then they will appreciate it, maybe. They don't appreciate it if it's there in abundance and they think they can just infinitely take from it. It doesn't work like that. Okay? If we want to appreciate our life here on Earth, we have to do something for it. And that's why I make these videos of hopefully becoming aware, more aware. And if it's just a handful of people that I can convince of this, I want these people to go out and convince another 5 people. And I want each one of them convince another 5 people. If it's in this slow pace, it's better than nothing. But if it was exponentially, it would be even better. And that's why I say make videos about this, get the discussion going. Because I don't see anybody doing. Everybody is just minding their own business and uses the F word, F off, leave me alone, I want to do my own business. That's not how we accomplish peace, paradise, and sustainability here on planet Earth. Okay, the way we accomplish that is if everybody helps, and if everybody also helps to get this discussion going, so that we can bypass the corporation and the law and order influence. The law and order is like it's complete. It has like holes in it, like a Swiss cheese, you know. This or whatever TV shows they're using. It is so infiltrated with corporate messages to get people, and it's like the same with this question, you know, like to install a belief into people's minds, to make environmentalists look crazy and stuff like this. And here they're the only sane ones on Earth, because they see the necessity to create a sustainable life. But everybody is brainwashed by this corporate agenda. Everybody is, and they're using peer pressure. They use your fear. They use your fear of rejection. So with this fear of rejection, they completely got your strings in your hands. They hold you like a puppet. You have fear of rejection. That's their strings that they hold. And with those strings, they can make you walk and do anything they want you to do. You have no more willpower at all. So that's why I say, get out of this. Cut these strings off. Cut the fear off of rejection. Stand for yourself. And start to voice an opinion that is pro all life. And not pro acceptance and being accepted as part of the community, and everybody wants to belong to a community. So do I wish I had like-minded friends. I don't have very many. They're very sporadic, and they're like spread out over the whole globe, and we're not together in a group, which we need so desperately. We're not at all. But the internet at least makes it possible that once in a while, you meet somebody who's like-minded, and that friendship lasts forever. It will never end, because those are the real friends. People who build friendships or marriages on physical attraction and coolness, that kind of shit doesn't last. Often people break up after 1 week because it was just, party, man. The party is on. We're all cool. I marry you because you're cool. This is not how it goes at all. All of this is such an incredible deception. A man marries a woman because she looks like a Barbie doll. Okay, then she has kids by him, and they look totally different. And then he goes, "Did you cheat on me?" Or he goes, "Oh, what's up? I thought you were looking like Marilyn Monroe." And then she shows him the photos of before the surgery. And then he goes, and this happened actually, and then he goes, "Okay, I'm gonna take this to my lawyer. I'm gonna sue you. I thought you were looking like that Barbie doll, and now I have 2 ugly children." How dare you people say something like this? Okay, no child, no being is ugly. Okay, don't ever, those poor children to have to grow up with mentally dysfunctional parents like this. I feel terribly sorry for them, and I tell these children, you are good just the way you are. Okay, you do not need surgery. Show your parents the finger and walk out of there. Okay, tell them to have so much surgery done that they become a frog, and that they can be whatever, and then should be dumped somewhere in Richard Berman's pond, and then he can have an artificial frog in it or 2. And because he doesn't have any more frogs, he's already killed his environment all off. So, and you walk away and you go to people who accept you for who you are. Real friends, real people who you can count on. Not superficial, plastic Barbie doll, kitsch, tacky shit people, okay? But real people, okay? Do this. And that's also why Lena Dunham is, why she has that many haters. This all started again with the corporations. They figured out, they went on her, they were following her on her heels, paparazzi style. They checked out how they could possibly slander her, because she's pretty squeaky clean as a character. It gets tough then for the corporations. So they find her memoirs, her book that she wrote, in which she talked about how she played with her little sister when she was 7 years old, an innocent child. We all did this. We all played doctor, but the corporations made a huge issue out of this. And again, it's the same thing I'm talking about. People, they already have this because of religion. Again, religion makes this capitalist, this whole machine possible. Because if people were thinking for themselves, this wouldn't be happening. This would not be happening in Germany, for example. People would go, "Wait a minute, she was 7 years old? That's not molestation," But people, when they don't think, when they're religious, they listen to their minister, and everything the guru or minister says is cool and great, and they don't have to do any more thinking. Okay, those are the people, that's the majority of people. That's why it's so important to look at the problem, and without looking at the problem, we cannot heal it ever. Okay, they need to look at the problem. They have been deceived. Their ideas have been embedded into their brains, and out of this we have all of these problems arising. Okay, I want people to become very aware of this. So they use this religion, and then they use these preconceived ideas. They use it, then this big hype molestation thing. It's like that used to be the case like 20, 30 years ago in Germany. This thing about molestation, they're already over it now. They got through because scientific knowledge now is able to look into the brain. We don't need psychoanalysis anymore. The psychoanalysis has analyzed itself to the end. Okay, and nothing good, nothing productive ever came out of this. So we have reached new frontiers. Okay, and that's like we can look in the brain, we can see the brain chemistry, when we can see causalities, we can see what causes a short circuit, and so on. Okay? It has to do with all kinds of different things that are going on. Okay? It has to also to do with genetics, with biology. It has to do with poor nutrition. It has to do with fear and the society people live in, and so on. And it is very important that we do meditation, because that's the only thing that can calm our brain down and can make us think clearly again, that can detox us. Psychoanalysis was not able to detox me or anybody else. So it's very important to look at this. This molestation hype is another scam by the corporations. How they can, and at the same time there was a real pedophile on, where was that, was selling his book somewhere. I think at Amazon. Yeah, he was selling his book at Amazon. It was a couple of years ago. Yeah, thank goodness a lot of people stood up, and because that was a real pedophile who wrote a book, How to Molest a Child. But they didn't want to take that book off the market because that book was selling. So they were making money. See, corporate interest. At the same time, they will come after Lena Dunham for having played doctor at age 7 with her little sister. See the discrepancy here? See the problem in this? I want people to wake up about it. Those are just a few handful of examples. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. How many lies and how much deception and how much brain manipulation can be taking place because people are not paying attention to these things. They don't pay attention to themselves, to their own mechanisms. So they know nothing about psychology. This is very important, that people start to wake up about this and not allow this to happen anymore. Become aware and see through this. Become much more eagle-eyed about it. And then we can create a better place here on earth. We can bypass the corporations, and we can bypass our peer pressure and the fear of rejection, and just say, I'm standing strong the way I am. I know I'm right. It feels right. It feels good. Love feels good, and that's where I'm going, and not into Barbie doll, sex type of, and that's not even good sex, when somebody has silicone embedded into their body. That's not good sex. Good sex is when you stay the way you are with all of your natural breast glands and fat and soft skin and everything. That feels good. That is true nature. That's real pleasure. Okay? Not plastic embedded everywhere. Okay? So you guys take care.